Look at that. Perfect timing. Hello and welcome to the Outside the Cockpit qualifying watch-along for the Miami GP. I'm with my brother, Noah. You can introduce yourself.
Yeah, I'm Noah, Sam's older brother. Here to support and comment on the race as well, or
the
qualifying. I'm excited.
As cars are now making their way out onto the track to the Miami International Autodrome Circuit. They're both Haas's of Mick Schumacher and Kevin Magnussen leading the way. They did really well in FP3, actually. They finished 6th and 8th on the timing sheet. So that was very strong showing from Haas. So it'll be exciting to see what they can do in qualifying. So
it's nice to see Magnussen back out just in general. It's good to see him kind of get up to grips with the car pretty quickly, it seems like, this season.
Yeah. Exactly, as we just pull up the live timing of the screen here, you can see, so Seb Vettel, Schumacher, Sainz, Magnussen, Albon, Tsunoda, Stroll, Gasly, Guan Yu Zhou, and Nicholas Latifi and other drivers as well making their way out on the track, slowly but surely.
Yeah.
There's the fake harbor, the Miami fake harbor, as everyone's commenting on it. Of course, our Wi-Fi is iffy. There we go. Is good. It's mom's Wi-Fi, so. All right, 16 minutes to go left here in Q1. Obviously, everyone just making their first couple runs. Obviously, the first couple laps we'll see won't be the true pace of the car until we probably see the Ferraris, the Red Bulls, the Mercedes go out, which is usually a little bit 5 minutes into Q1. But we'll still see some cars making their way out. We'll have to see some pace. Current cars, yeah, everyone's on the soft tire, looks like. So.
Do they still have that rule where the tire that you do
Q2 on?
Yeah.
The Q2 rule is still in place. Oh no, they got rid of it. Sorry, they got rid of it actually.
So whatever.
So it doesn't matter. Yeah, whatever tire you qualify in Q2 on, it doesn't matter. So you are free. It's just free choice, which is actually really interesting because it was a little bit annoying. I mean, like, I understand why they want to do it because it's just spiced up the strategy for a lot of people for the races, but it just wasn't really a rule that made sense for a lot of teams overall as they protested it. So it was good that they kind of got rid of it. So now it's free choice. As now Magnus is out for his first time lap around the circuit. I haven't had really much, I didn't really watch a lot of free practice. I watched a little bit of highlights and a little bit of FP3, but based on what we saw, Magnussen and Haas were doing quite well. As well as the Ferraris, and Sergio Perez topped the timing session for P3.
Yeah, the Haas have an interesting opportunity here, I think, just because they're local to the United States of America, so kind of put on a show for their local crowd, I think.
No, exactly, yeah. American team, an American crowd. Obviously, another big home race for them is the race in Texas.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, it's interesting enough, obviously, now that they no longer have the Russian sponsorship, but before they were quote unquote the American team, but they released the American team because they're based in the UK. Their bases are based in the UK. So
yeah,
but
that's primarily how it works. They're all around. I forget what the town is, but it's a specific city.
It's Brackley. There's a lot of them in Brackley. It's a big city as well for a lot of the country. So yeah, green in the first two sectors, Albon second, purple in the second sector. So strong showing for Williams and Alex Albon early on here, but again, we'll have to see what time he crosses the line. Yeah, 1:33.148 for Magnussen and Schumacher going a little bit slower here.
Quite a bit slower.
Yeah, no, it seems like he must have spun or lost the lap a little bit. He's just kind of abandoned the lap at 1:39. And Albon goes quickest with a 1:32.495, purple in the third sector. So nice job by Albon there.
Yeah,
good. Yeah, here comes Sebastian Vettel. Yeah, he goes. Yeah, again, it's good. The lap times, the first few lap times are always just going to keep getting better and better and faster as the Tsunoda cross line with a purple in sector 2.
So I haven't watched too much qualifying in a while. What's their general strategy? Do you see them push hard the first lap on their initial? As soon as they get out the gate, they're kind of doing a one warm up and then right in.
They do an out lap to warm up the tires, and then from there it's the second lap. So they'll go out of the garage, they'll go to the pit lane, they'll do one lap to warm up, and then on that going around, crossing the line on that second go. On that second lap is the time lap is now Verstappen. So it's his time lap. Sainz going quickest with a 1:38.58. Again, we're starting to see now some proper times. But in terms of the engines, I think for Q1, they keep them pretty low, relatively low. And then Q2 and Q3, they turn up the engines a little bit more. They put a little more power down, obviously, because it matters more. Because in Q1, for a lot of these cars, they're pushing as hard as they can. As he a little bit slower in sector 1. So
do they refuel in between qualifying? Like, do they only run a certain amount of fuel each qualifying, and then do they drop that off a little bit?
I think they refuel a little bit, but again, because of the ruling, they have to have a certain amount, similar to the end of the race. They have to, I believe, similar to the race, they have to have a set number of fuel, a set amount of fuel left in to do testing for the fuel testing the FIA does. So as well as that, plus for the end of the race, because obviously Sebastian Vettel last year at Hungary finished P2 as Verstappen goes purple in the second sector, half a second quicker on Sainz's time there. He's flying in the second sector.
He's not doing too bad, eh?
No, not doing too bad. So much better time in the first sector. But yeah, so in terms of your point there, I think, yeah, so they turn up the engines a little bit near the end, but I don't think they refuel much in between qualifying. They probably put a little more fuel in between, but again, they're trying to get the lowest amount. Again, even when you run a low fuel sometimes, at least from my experience, like even just like clean, like I know it's actually, if you are running a lower fuel, it can affect, like you have to have the right amount of fuel to, you know, have success in your pace there. Is Verstappen 11th? I don't know if that time is accurate or not. But sometimes the timing is a little bit off, but yeah, Verstappen, as you can see, the timing board here is a little bit quicker than here. So you can see Verstappen going quickest with a 1:30.235, and Perez just behind him, but Russell goes third fastest.
Nice for Russell. Good to see some pace.
Yeah, Mercedes have made a few small upgrades here for Miami this weekend, which is exciting to see, and we'll have to see if it pays off, if it pays dividends in the race, because we saw in practice they were doing well, P1 and P4 for Russell and Hamilton, and now Hamilton makes his first flying lap around the circuit, looking to Verstappen with a 32.86 in sector 1 here. We'll have to see if he can improve on. Again, I'm not expecting much from Mercedes here, at least from Hamilton as well, because it seems like the car is a little bit suited better to Russell this year, even, which was a surprise to me. But after talking with some friends and some lost it there a little bit. That's gonna it's gonna cost them right there. 2/10 off. Yeah,
kiss the barrier with the rear end.
Oh, exactly. That would have been devastating for them if he were to crash out. Obviously, I think turn 17. There's Russell going really slow there.
His teammate he's holding up.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
Well, one of the interesting things about Russell and Hamilton is that when you look at the cars, is that Russell's actually running like the livery that signifies like you're the number one driver, where he doesn't have the high fluorescent accents on like the camera on the top of the intake. So those are one of those things that signifies, from what I could tell, that maybe Mercedes does have Russell lined up as their number one concern right now, more so than
well, he is the future of the team, right? Like he is definitely he's looking towards the future, and that's why they might have suited the car better towards him. Like, I mean, Red Bull did the same thing when Sebastian Vettel was coming off 4 straight world titles, and Daniel Ricciardo, a rookie coming in, they suited the car a little bit towards Ricciardo, and Ricciardo ended up beating Vettel in terms of like head to head. So we could see it again this year with Russell versus Hamilton. 10 minutes to go here in Q1. Verstappen, Perez, Russell, Sainz, and Zhou Guanyu, top 5. So great lap there by Zhou Guanyu, the Chinese rookie for Alfa.
Yeah, that is actually great.
Yeah.
Showing
Michelle Obama
right now on the screen.
First lady. There's going to be tons of celebrities here in Miami, I can imagine. There's already, I think they were even, Pierre Gasly had dinner with Michael Jordan. Lewis Hamilton played golf with Tom Brady. Yep, there's Lewis Hamilton losing to their 12th fastest for. The question is, can he make it out of Q1? Because, you know, he's struggled a lot this year in terms of the car, making it out of Q1 a couple times this year, which is unfortunate because you never like to really see it, obviously, because he's the 7-time world champion and he's pushed. Yeah, that was Gasly there losing his time, so that's why he set his time for 1:57. He went off there on the replay. So as here now is Carlos Sainz, trying to make for another outlap again on the soft tire, along with Leclerc as well. This is his time lap. So this is where he's pushing as much as he can. Again, they want to push as much as they can, but not too much where they, you know, because again, they do have a bit of a faster car. Like, they have the fastest car, the fastest packages. He's 4/10 there, almost half a second faster than Verstappen in the first sector.
So Sainz can drive. It's just about lining it up when it comes to the race day.
No, exactly. As Leclerc goes a little bit quicker there in Sector 1, beats out Sainz's time. Purple in Sector 1. Stroll struggling a little bit. So, they've got a great package this year. They really did a good job at understanding the regulations. They didn't have a terrible year in 2021. They finished P3 in the constructors. They had a good second half. Leapfrogging McLaren in the standings. But there's 2/10 there off Verstappen's time, and see where's Leclerc gonna finish here through Sector 2. Yeah, so 6/10 clear, 6/10 clear of Verstappen's time there. Now Maverick wants to come join the qualifying watch along.
Yeah, got our puppy with us.
So Sainz goes fastest with a 1:37.9.
Yeah, but
and then Leclerc's, you can see on the timing sheet there, he is coming across the line. He goes with a 1:29.474. So
Ferrari's, something we didn't know.
Ricardo Norris up there, and Perez now down to P7 already. Russell down to P8. That's what I mean, because all of a sudden Russell's like, he was P3, and then a couple good laps from Ricardo, Stroll, and Norris as well, which is a little bit surprising because obviously Aston Martin has really struggled this year in terms of pace to start the year, but Bottas goes 9th fastest.
But Ferraris now.
With a 1:29.836. So again, he's showing the pace there. Perez yellow in the first sector, green in the second sector, not having a great time. Where's he going to cross here? 4th fastest, so a bit of a better time again. So it's, Ferrari, Red Bull, the top 4. It seems like this year it's going to be a tight battle between those two top teams. But Hamilton, again, P16 in the elimination zone to Tsunoda with a 1:31.533. So again, I don't expect Hamilton to not make it out of Q1, but it is still a possibility. But like Russell, again, I think he's just got a better grip of the car, a better understanding of it, and just he seems to be, maybe it's a little bit suited more towards him because he's the future of the team. But regardless, he's doing a great job this year so far. Top 5 finishes every race this year. So
I wonder if you almost build up a little of so much of a familiarity with your regular 2021 or whatever it was, 2017, 2021. I don't know the regulations.
2021, it's 2021. Yeah, no, originally again, 2021 was supposed to be the new year of the regulation, so it's supposed to end in 2020. Like it was supposed to be 2014 to 2010. It was a 6-year period but because of COVID, they pushed So originally it was supposed to be 2021 when they're supposed to release these new cars, as I think it was Alonso or Ocon they were hitting the wall. And Hamilton P16 replay there. Oh, again losing it, so going off. But again, it could just be taking some time. Obviously Hamilton racing in these cars for so long, for almost 7 years, and then having to switch to a newer car. And obviously Mercedes was struggling with porpoising a lot early on in the season. It's still a bit of an issue, but Alexander Albon.
Yeah, that, and they lost some comfort with the car. I mean, they took away some of the ham and the suspension, they said, right?
No, exactly.
The compliance, I guess you could say, is that they lost the compliance of the larger tires with the smaller rims, and then a little bit affected because of that. I mean, I think everybody's referred to all of the jitteriness of the car and its ability to shake.
Yeah.
So
again, Hamilton yellow in the first sector, green in the second sector. Will he cross the line? Doesn't look great. Yeah, he's heading into the pits here. So 4 minutes to go. Is he going to try to jump, leapfrog the Alpine there? So he's got to get out there quick again, because if he doesn't get out, he will be out of Q1 as of right now. And he's going into the pits. Quick pit stop here. Looks like there's going to quick pit, change of tires, and hopefully, I'm assuming he's going to probably go right out again. Fresh set of softs, and then he's going to go back out. Nope. Yep. They didn't know. I think he's probably going to be heading back out as Albon now makes his way around the circuit. Yeah, green in the first sector, looking pretty strong for Albon. That would be nice if he'd be able to get out of Q1. That would be nice.
They have a great camera angle on that. Was it turn 11?
Yeah, turn 11. Yeah, there.
When they come in off and they slam on the brakes, and you can see all the brake dust shoot up.
Oh, yeah.
Kind of cool.
Yeah, very nice to see. Yeah, a great amount of angles. Great angles here around the street circuit of Miami here.
I really think they need to start incorporating steady state cameras, though. I mean, ones with fixed angles, and then you can really get a grasp of the speed there.
No, exactly. Yeah, like a lot of times where they have that at Australia, but they don't show it. They have a camera right. I think it was like between turn 13 or 14 where they whip through like full speed, And you can see videos of it when just someone's on the phone and they go full, like it's full throttle. It's like 7th gear right through. His Albon 14th. So he does just squeak into Q2 there. Hamilton P17 on his outlap. So great job by Albon there. P14. But again, still at risk. Magnussen and Gasly into Tsunoda, as well as Tsunoda and Russell still at risk here. So we'll have to see what happens here.
Of the people in the section of at risk,
Gasly goes 8th fastest there. Tsunoda goes 5th fastest. A great lap there from Tsunoda, the rookie. Oh no, sorry, not rookie. Second year now. Obviously last year was his rookie. So 10th fastest. Russell goes 6th fastest, a second off the pace of Leclerc's time still. So clearly you can see the big gap between Mercedes and Ferrari there. Zhao Guanyu at risk there. Hamilton down to 18th now with it on his outlap. So we'll have to see if Latifi.
Hamilton can do it.
Oh, I'm sure he can. I'm sure he'll put out a good lap here. So I'm sure that will be good. So Latifi goes 19th fastest. Cannot improve. He's really struggled this season, Latifi, in the Williams compared to Albon. As Albon is 17th at risk now. So Alonso, Magnussen, on his outlap. So looks like potentially as well, Albon could be out of Q1, both Williams, potentially even Hamilton as well, because he's done another lap there. He's 5/10 off the safety net there. So I don't know if he's going to do one more lap or not here. We'll have to see. 2 minutes to go here in Q1. Yeah, there's Hamilton flying around, trying to get one more time lapping, but a bunch of traffic on the track. Yep. Okay. So he's made it past. Okay. So I think he will do it here, unless someone else again.
He's got to go through some traffic.
Yeah, he's got to fight through some traffic here. So this will be very interesting to see if he can make it out of Q1 for the 3rd or 4th time this season. It's been a couple times again. The slow moving house out of the way.
Respectful.
Yeah, no, exactly. You don't want to hold again, because that can cause a big penalty later on for yourself if you are impeding a driver from getting through. Not a great exit there.
Yeah, not the best underneath that section.
No, sliding a little bit there. So again, okay, green in sector 2. So again, he's half a second off on Alonso's time. Again, Zhao, Albon, Latifi still not setting their total time as Russell's now going in. Again, still has some traffic here in front of him. The Aston Martin trying to get out of the way as much as he can.
That's tough.
Yeah, he's going to have to quickly rip through the S's here. And he crossed the line. He goes 5th fastest. So a great lap from Hamilton. And he's safe from making it out. And
you boogered up that last section.
No, exactly. Yeah, but he still made it through 5th fastest. Russell goes 7th fastest. As it stands right now, Leclerc is the top of the charts right now with 30 seconds left in Q1. But here is Zhao Guanyu and Albon fighting to get out of Q1, as well as Magnussen as well. Magnussen, no, he is not. Yeah. Oh wow, lots of traffic here.
Yeah, total.
And this is similar to Monza 2019, where there was like a bunch of cars, just a huge pileup. As now Albon avoids the traffic a little bit, but again did have to slow down because the traffic.
So right into it. Though.
No, exactly. Yeah, he's gonna have a huge issue going into these. No, I don't think he might not be affected here, because I think he slowed down a little bit, but 18th fastest for Albon, so he doesn't make it out of Q1, unfortunately. So both Williams out, as well as Ocon, who doesn't make it in town obviously because he crashed out, and Zhao Guanyu and Alonso. Magnussen at risk. Norris, your P11, see if he can improve on his time. Yellow in the first 2 sectors. Not a great lap here, but at Norris, so Alonso, trying to. Magnussen is really a big driver at risk here, and as well. Cross line, so Alonso finish. There's Norris as he crossed the line, 11th fastest. Yellow in all 3 sectors to improve. And is now 1 second faster than Magnussen through the first 2 sectors. Verstappen as well going for another time lap here, trying to yellow in sector, great 2 tenths slower than Leclerc's time. A little bit buffery, come on. There's Alonso now trying to cross the line. Where will he cross the line? He goes 6th fastest, so another great lap from Alonso. And Vettel going to cross the line. He goes 12th fastest, so he makes it through to Q2, crosses the line. And so Bottas is the driver at risk. He's crossed the line. I don't think Magnussen, Zhao Guanyu. Yeah, Bottas is done. I don't think, because I think there's a huge amount of traffic there. Latifi, again, 19th fastest only. Really bottled that 3rd sector. Really a tough section. to fight through. Seems like a lot of drivers are struggling there in that last sector. So as it stands right now, Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, Sainz, Hamilton, Alonso, Stroll, Tsunoda, Russell, Ricardo, Schumacher, Vettel, Norris, Gasly, and Bottas are making their way into Q2. Magnussen as well, unfortunately, just missed the cut, which is unfortunately just by a single tenth there. So very close, but as it stands right now, the Ferrari of Charles Leclerc is the fastest. So very interesting first qualifying session. So obviously now the field teams will look at that again for the first 5 minutes and then the 5 minutes, and then Q2 should resume shortly. Should start shortly as well within the next 5 or 6 minutes, and they'll go back out on track and see where they can improve. Again, they're in park for regulations, so it can't change obviously anything. But regardless, they'll still try to see where they can improve on certain turns, certain tracks, certain corners. So.
All right, I'm gonna go to coffee.
Okay, sounds good. Yeah, Zhao Guanyu knocked out by just a single tenth there. Unfortunate for the young rookie. Just having a tough day in the office, but interesting enough, Hamilton did make it through. I was a little bit nervous there, but showing the replay here, this is really where the issue was. Perez was trying to make it through, and Zhao Guanyu. Yeah, there's so many cars blocked to me the last sector. We need to report it's dangerous on my flying lap. Yes, it is extremely dangerous as well, and that definitely cost him for sure making a Q2 appearance. That's definitely got to be investigated, and certain teams are going to be potentially penalized for that kind of incident there. Or Charles Leclerc incident is the incident. Just an incident. There it is as it is. So Q1 is complete, and still waiting to see. Obviously, Q2 still is yet to start in a couple minutes, and then Q3 a little bit later on. So as we can see, so obviously out in Q1 was Magnussen, Zhao Guanyu, Albon, Latifi, and Esteban Ocon, obviously, who didn't set a time because he crashed out in FP3. So as it stands, you can see the corner return analysis there. So interesting enough, I think where Haas stands, obviously not really where they want to be because they didn't make it out of Q2, out of Q1. And it being sort of not really their home race, but again, on American soil, wanting to do well. Gene Haas wanting the team to do well, not really the best weekend for them. They look strong in practice, and I was really excited to see what they could do. But obviously, qualifying is a different breed, and I think realistically, they just didn't get out at the right time, didn't find the right pace with the car, and just other teams were quicker, and they were able to get a bit of a quicker lap there as both Aston Martin made it into Q2, which is good to see, obviously, because they've struggled a lot this year to start the season, not making it out of Q1 multiple times so far, as Q2 should begin in a little while. And I think in terms of my predictions now, if we're going to give our predictions, I'll wait for my brother to return as well, but at least for my predictions, I would say most likely I can definitely see Leclerc being on pole, Verstappen second, Perez or Sainz third. That's kind of your top three. Maybe I can see George Russell finishing P4, Lewis Hamilton P5, around that range. As it stands, as you can see, the fake marina with the very fake-looking water, trying to look real water. But again, as you can see, shots of the crowd with the Red Bull hats and the bucket hats as well. Max Verstappen fans in attendance. Boiling Miami heat here. Lots of fans, sold-out crowd. A big spectacle for this year for Formula One. As you can see, the shot of the start-finish straight at Hard Rock Stadium as well. So, yes, indeed. Obviously, Q2 should begin soon. Now, interesting enough, actually, we haven't, again, knock on wood, but George Lucas in attendance in the Miami garage for the Miami Grand Prix. That's a bit of surprise. I mean, hey, good for George Lucas. He's cool. He's an F1 fan. I just have more respect for him, but I just sometimes you see celebrities and you don't always expect to see certain celebrities in attendance at certain race weekends, as there's the pavilion and people are drinking, having a good time, enjoying themselves in the Miami weather. Camera being shown, the Ferrari shirt they're showing. I think fans are really loving this race, and I think this spectacle event is just a grand event. And I think in terms of it's going to be for years to come, they are going to return to Miami just for the money making, the amount of money that they're going to make on a given weekend. The restaurants as well are going to love it. Again, not everyone is going to love it. Some of the local residents, probably based on where it is in the Miami Gardens area, not really going to love it there. So you can see as now, again, the Haas of, I believe that is Mick Schumacher, or maybe that's Kevin Magnussen making his way out onto track for the start of Q2, as we have a green light and cars are now making their way back on track for the start of Q2, making the first couple runs. As you can see, shots of the Paddock Club and the F1 Experiences area for the where people can watch the race. So again, just beautiful, beautiful weather here in Miami. Beautiful shots of the track and the surrounding area. So, but realistically, looking ahead to the end of qualifying, I definitely see Leclerc and Verstappen battling out for a close battle for pole position. But I think in the end, Leclerc has just got a little more pace this weekend. The Ferrari is proving to be just a little more grippy around certain turns. And I think the one thing that worries me again with this heat and with the experiences that we saw in Australia, Verstappen, again, even if he finishes on pole position, qualifies first, as Leclerc is making his way out on the track as well, we could see some reliability issues to continue to be a problem potentially for Red Bull this weekend. Hopefully that isn't the case, because again, that would be unfortunate, but it is what it is. You have to deal with it sometimes, and sometimes you have to deal with these certain reliability issues like Red Bull is having. And I have a feeling that based on this Miami heat, we're going to continue to potentially see this. So low speed corners first, Ferrari, Max Verstappen fourth, 0.21 seconds lost there. So again, in a given lap, that is a huge amount of time for the low speed corners, which is where they benefit, really, the Ferrari benefits. So you can see as now Mick Schumacher, Charles Leclerc, Verstappen, Perez, and Sainz, the top five there as it stands. Hamilton, Russell, Norris, Bottas, and Alonso as well. As now Schumacher makes his way around the Miami International Autodrome circuit, flying here through the first sector. You can see the helicopter cam through the shadow following along as he gets cruised up 30.44. It's actually not a bad, solid sector. First sector for Schumacher. Schumacher did make it into Q2. Sorry, Schumacher did make it into Q2. So no, it was Magnussen who didn't make it into Q2, but Schumacher did make it into Q2. Could he make it into Q3 in appearance, as there's a slow-moving McLaren getting out of the way? As you can see, the live timing as it stands right now, P5 for where Schumacher will kind of finish if he doesn't improve or doesn't lose any more time. So again, green in the first sector, again, is shifting down to sixth place. Leclerc is now on his flying lap. Sainz as well. Sainz, purple in the first sector for Sainz, purple in the second sector for Schumacher again, because he's the first one to cross the line. I will be the first car to cross the line, the first one out on track. Leclerc, again, purple in the second sector, again, a little bit quicker than Schumacher. Sainz, purple in the first sector. So green in the sector in the second sector for Sainz. So Leclerc now, Schumacher goes fastest with a 1:34.23 for Mick Schumacher. Leclerc, if he's going to improve on that, where he's going to finish, I would say improve in front of that. And yeah, 1:29.754 for Leclerc. But Schumacher P3 right now, as it stands, 1:34.23. Not a terrible lap. Carlos Sainz crossed the line, 1:29.729. So an identical, pretty much almost identical laps. But Verstappen now, as it says 1:29.202 for Verstappen, with purple in the second and third sector. Two great sectors for Verstappen. Again, this time seems, actually, if I update this. Oh, that's why, because it's not live there. That's why. We're a little bit behind. I see. That's what the issue was. So you can see here, Q2, Verstappen setting the fastest lap, and Perez now with a 1:29.673. So again, I honestly thought that the Ferraris really would be leading, but again, this is Q2. We'll have to see what teams can do, what they can put together. But as it stands right now, with 10 and a half minutes to go here in Q2, Verstappen and Perez lead the charge with a 1-2 for Red Bull. That'd be really important. That'd be really crucial for Red Bull to get a great qualifying position here in Miami again, because we don't know, in terms of the race, we don't really know the overtaking opportunities here. Again, we do have the two DRS zones down the main straight and obviously the back straight. So there's two big areas, again, where potentially there'll be areas where teams or where drivers can overtake. But realistically, we don't really know these great overtaking spots. As Norris cross line P5, Hamilton goes P5, just quick of him with a 129.797. Norris a second slower than him. Schumacher in the pit right now. Mick Schumacher. Bottas goes 8th fastest. Schumacher with currently 7th fastest. Ricardo now crossing the line. He's going to cross the line a little bit longer, in about 15 seconds from now, roughly, as he makes his way down the back straight through the last couple turns here. Again, very narrow, very tight, very twisty turn. He was a little bit off there on that last couple turns, cross the line, and he goes so with a 1.9, 131 to 129, and he goes 9th fastest. So just squeaking on the tail end of there into Q3 potentially. Norris P6, Schumacher P7. Yeah, Perez and Verstappen right now leading the charge 1 and 2, as Leclerc and Sainz are both now on their outlap, as we can see. Tsunoda 6th fastest. Gasly goes 6th fastest. Tsunoda goes 7th fastest. So again, 2 great laps from the AlphaTauri drivers in Gasly and to Tsunoda. As you can see, Stroll bouncing down that back straight. You can see the little Canadian flag on the top of his helmet. Crossing the line. Where is he going to finish here in Q2? 8:24 to go remaining here in Q2. As you can see, and he crosses the line 9th fastest for Stroll. As you can see. You can see here now Verstappen going quickest again, still with the quickest lap, parking the garage now as it stands. And he probably won't go out for another lap until the near end again of qualifying. Again, Bottas trying to make his way into Q3 for another set number time. Obviously, that got broken in Australia. His streak of 103 straight qualifying appearances of making it in. George Russell, no time set yet here now. Looks like he is going to go out for his first flying lap of Q2 here around the Miami International Autodrome circuit. Making his way through the first couple turns here. Looking pretty solid. Good exit on both these chicanes. A little bouncing off there. Exit there. Good exit. Nice turn there. Oh, lost it there, and he tapped the wall. You're able to really great recovery there from Russell, but I think he's going to be slowing down here. And it looks like potentially he's going to be abandoning this lap, so he will not be going for this time lap here, George Russell. He tapped the wall. I don't know if he tapped it or not. Let's see the replay here. Oh, he just narrowly avoided it, but with that, obviously, he had to abandon the lap and give up the amount of time. He was, just narrowly, just barely avoided the wall there. So, and Toto Wolff does not look happy. Nearly a moment of anticipation there. Nervousness there as he nearly put it into the wall, which would have been brought out our first red flag, but we're surprisingly enough, knock on wood, there haven't been any red flags so far in the first qualifying, and obviously in Q2, the first 5 minutes here, as Leclerc now goes fastest with a 129.130 72 milliseconds, 72 thousandths of a second quicker than Verstappen, and half a second quicker than Perez, and half a second quicker, almost 6 tenths quicker than his teammate Carlos Sainz. So as it stands right there, you can see the difference in where the sector 2 is really where the pace is. Sector 1 and sector 3 is where the pace is for the Ferrari, but for Verstappen, sector 2 is where he just beat him a little bit by the slight hair. But again, Leclerc goes faster with a 1:29.130 5 minutes to go here in Q2. So we'll have to see where this stands and what happens here. We'll have to see. Yuki Tsunoda showing a replay here, losing a little bit on the replay. What's going on? Turn 16. What's going on? Did he? He touched the wall a little bit there. He just, it wasn't a great. Oh yeah, he just touched it. Just gave it a little kiss there. Just a wee bit of a smidge there. So, but is able. So Russell now 9 thousandths a second there, quicker than Norris in terms of the time elimination zone. Hamilton right now on his outlap again, P5. The question is, I don't see an issue where they're going to make it into Q3. If they make it out of Q1, then they'll definitely make it out of Q2 as well. God forbid something would happen. If massive crash and they weren't able to set a time or whatever reason that, all the other drivers just set quicker times and they were left in the dust. But again, green in the first sector for Russell. But again, having to anticipate a lot of this traffic up and coming, which he's going to have to fight through. Again, yellow in the second sector, just by the very slight hair there, about 5 thousandths per second there. Against Norris's time with the 1:32.89. Where does he cross the line? He's got another 15-ish seconds of making the last few turns here before he makes through some more fast turns, chicanes to get to the start-finish straight. And here we are. Where are we going to see him cross the line? And he's going to go 7th fastest. So green in the first and third sector, yellow in the second sector, but it is fast enough to get outside of the elimination zone. Schumacher right now in the elimination zone, trying to get his Haas car into Q3 again. Yellow in the second sector, not a great middle sector for the young German driver. Let's see if he can pick it up here in the third sector to make his way into Q3 once again this season. So we'll have to wait and see if he's able to do that. That would be nice to see. Obviously, young driver done an okay so far for the first season of Haas. Again, last year was a bit of a write-up, but this year is definitely the year where they're going to be wanting to push him. Only 13th fastest, unable to really improve much more. 1:36.80. Green in the first and third sector, but yellow in the second sector, in the middle sector, yellow second or middle sector as we call it. Hamilton now out for his flying lap with 2:55 and counting remaining, 2:54 and remaining. Just under 3 minutes remaining here in Q2. Here in Miami, beautiful day, nice and sunny. It's nice and sunny here in Waterloo as well, where I am at least. 5th fastest as it stands right now, trying to really get as much as he can out of the car, down the straight here. Yellow in the second sector. We'll see where he finishes here in the third sector and where he will finish overall as well, with about 2.5 minutes to go here in Q2. I'm assuming for sure he shouldn't have an issue where he will not make it out of Q2, but again, crazier things have happened before as well. So we'll have to see. Again, he was able to make it out of Q1, so I have a strong feeling that he'll get into Q3 and should have an issue. He goes 5th fastest, not really much of an improvement on his lap. Yellow in the last, in the middle and the third sector as well. The last sector slowing down a little bit there. 2 minutes to go. Perez, Leclerc, and Sainz all on their outlap. Now, Verstappen is parked in the garage. I don't think he's too worried about his time. Doesn't feel like he needs to risk it, potentially cause a crash or anything like that, and all of a sudden be out of qualifying. But again, so Perez, Sainz, and Leclerc all out for their outlap with about 1:39 to go. Verstappen is parking it in the garage. The driver at risk right now is Yuki Tsunoda with 1:32.80, trying to just hang on to that 10th position to make it into Q3. Gasly on his outlap as well in P6. Bottas and Alonso as well for their outlap as well. So we'll have to see what happens there as Vettel now makes his way around the circuit, flying down the back, flying through the chicanes here. Nice exit there. Excellent control, and the car is really sticking here. Excellent grip. No issues so far from what I see from the lap. Lost a little bit there. A slight smidge, but again, 1/1000th off of Tsunoda's time there, who is currently in P10. So green in the first sector, but yellow in compared to Tsunoda's time. So we'll have to see if he can improve on that anymore to beat out Tsunoda or beat out anyone else here in the second sector. As Stroll as well is making their way through the circuit, through the track. And obviously now, where will Vettel finish across the line? Oh, sorry, no, still a little bit early on that. Sorry about that, my mistake. Well, you can see, obviously, the time's already beat there. He goes 9th fastest with a 130.214, as it's going to see on my board. And Stroll goes 7th fastest. I'm just going to double, 8th fastest for Vettel, but then that's going to go down to 9th fastest right away. So Stroll is going to go. He's going to cross the line. He's going to go 6th fastest, which is going to get pushed down to 7th, and now 8th fastest. So right now, and Vettel down to P12. So out now, driver at risk now is Vettel, who's now P10. And now, oh yeah, this is the end of qualifying. So Alonso, Norris goes 3rd fastest. Russell now is at risk. Russell's P10. Russell's down to P11. He's got to get a lap in here. Hamilton goes 7th fastest. He's safe here. He's crossed the line. Russell now down to P12, and he's parked in the garage. Russell's not going to go out, is he? I don't think Russell's not out. Russell's out of Q2 here. Yeah, I know he's in the garage. He's parked in the garage, and he is not into Q3 here. Russell's out of Q2. Russell just missed it. Look at that. The gap there. 0.04 seconds there. Yeah, Russell's out. Alonso's out. Yeah, he's parked in the garage, and he doesn't cross the line, but he's in the garage, and I don't think he's out for a flying lap or anything like that. Nothing has been updated. So again, unless something has been updated, but yeah, George Russell now in 1:31.73, and there's the checkered flag. Vettel, the last one to cross the line. So Ricciardo, Schumacher, Vettel, Russell, and Alonso being eliminated here in Q2. But so again, Norris goes P3 though, 3rd fastest for Norris. Verstappen again in the pit again, not really concerned with his time, but Russell does not make it. Yeah, Ricciardo's out, Vettel's out. I'm more surprised about Russell and Ricciardo. I mean, I know Vettel didn't have the best lap, but yeah, Stroll was able to get it into Q2. But yeah, he lost it in the chicane there, as you can see by the team radio. But Russell not making it out of Q2. He's been doing great all year long, but this time it seems to me the script has been flipped here in Miami. So with now Hamilton going 7th fastest, so we'll have to see. But as it stands right now, you can see who made it in Q2 and Q1 and Q2. So, well, yeah, who's your prediction for pole position? Who do you think is going to take pole position here?
Verstappen.
You think so? I don't know. It's very close.
I'm gonna say maybe Leclerc.
Leclerc and Verstappen are jostling back and forth for 1st and 2nd. Back and forth between Q1 and Q2. But again, at the end, Leclerc has been the fastest car at the end of each qualifying session so far. So session has been noted between.
Wow, those wheel covers are cool on the Mercedes.
Oh yeah, I know exactly the Miami colors and the high vis numbers. So you can see. So there's all the numbers, the data there. So unfortunately for George Russell, out of Q2. And he will start from P12 on the grid tomorrow. And again, we don't know. Again, he lost it there, and he didn't improve it. I don't know, and maybe I don't know if he touched the wall or what caused it, but he wasn't able to get another flying lap in and able to improve it anymore. So yeah, that's the thing is we don't really know the overtaking opportunities on this circuit. It's a new track. It's a very narrow Tilke. It's a Tilke modern circuit with 2 DRS zones. So I think there's definitely going to be a chance at overtaking. The question is, how aggressive a driver is going to be on race day in terms of making their chances and getting through the field. And I think for Russell starting P12, it could be a long day for him, similar to kind of how it is in Monaco, where based on where you qualify, it's a little bit harder. But I think here obviously it's a much wider circuit, so there's definitely chance for overtaking, and these cars can follow. So with DRS as well, how powerful DRS is for certain cars at least. So we'll
I
see.
don't know how much actually wider it is. I mean, some of these chicane sections really look
very narrow. Yeah.
tight, especially the one underneath the bridge.
Yeah.
The switchback, that one looks really tough for anyone to even try to.
No, exactly.
I mean, it looks like an area where somebody's going to make a mistake, and then from there you can capitalize on it.
Yeah. I don't know how. I actually have the short the track by 3 meters from. Oh, that was the total distance. How big is? Yeah, I'm not sure actually, but exactly. I think it's maybe a slight bit wider, obviously. Than that would be my PC dying or getting low. Plugging that in.
So I was gonna go make a coffee.
Yeah.
And then I go outside to go tell Mom how nice the kitchen looks.
And what happened? What was going on?
There is a groundhog in my engine bay right now. I'm not lying to you.
There's a groundhog in your engine bay?
I know. I open up the hood on the truck, and I'm not lying.
I was wondering what that was because I heard all this commotion. I wasn't sure. At first, I thought, oh, someone was coming to visit you because you were all like happy and it was all loud. And then I look outside and it was like, you guys working on the engines? Like, oh, I don't know. And I was so confused for a second there. But
it was hectic. It was.
So did you guys get it out of the engine bay?
I threw some cheese, kind of like at him to kind of get him like excited, and kind of like we'll place it near him, and then kind of made a little trail down off the truck engine and down onto the pavement and then away.
That's pretty cool, actually. Groundhog. So
hoping he goes for it, but I doubt that he will. I feel like he's pretty nervous right now.
So he's still in the engine bay as of right now.
Yeah, there's still a groundhog in my engine bay in my truck.
So you can't drive it. So
yeah, well, I mean, I could go a little more aggressive with my excavation and like physically poke him with a stick until he goes. But I mean, for now, I think it's just going to be a strategy of waiting.
okay, we're back. Sorry about that. There was a little bit of a technical issue there. My Google Chrome decided to just quit on itself, and
I'll have to show you the video after.
yeah, please show me that after.
Oh my god! Holy cow! All right, yeah. Why do they call it Live Miami?
I don't know. That's just how they do it.
I don't know where we're at.
Oh, I should grab a coffee.
Yeah, you should know. You can go grab a coffee. Q3 is set to begin soon. Sorry, but I think Q3 is. Yeah, so Q3 should begin shortly here, as now. So. Yeah, 10 fastest for Pierre Gasly. Just squeaked in there. Sergio Perez, 4th fastest. Sergio Perez, that's a very nice helmet from Sergio Perez. The helmets have been have been top notch here in Miami. All the different Miami Vice and Miami colored helmets, special edition helmets, they've been great. So no incident regarding cars 55 and 14, Alonso and Sainz impeding. Turn 11 to 16 incident. Wow, so a big incident there. But, and now the cars are starting to make their way out. 11 minutes to go here remaining.
Ferrari's going first.
Yeah, Ferrari's going first. I mean, we've seen the Haas's go first every time, but again, because of how they like to follow, the Red Bull's going to move. That was very close there. I think that was between the McLaren of Lando Norris and that was a very close. That could definitely be investigated for a potential unsafe release. Yeah, that was between, I believe, Lando Norris and Sergio Perez, nearly coming in close contact with each other. So
here we go, working our way into Q3.
As you can see, the previous pole positions for the United States: Verstappen, Bottas, Hamilton, 3 straight years in a row. So you can see, obviously, this is a little bit different. Obviously, yeah, because this was probably the U.S. Grand Prix, the previous polls. Obviously, now they're now racing in Miami this year, and then again Vegas next year, which will be an interesting race to talk about as well. Have you seen much of the Vegas circuit or no? What it's looked like? So
No, not. I hope it's. I'm guessing it's a street circuit.
yeah, it's another street circuit. So
Yeah, I'm not the biggest fan of street circuits. I'm a bit of an old school in terms of I like.
you like the traditional circuits, like
Well,
the
I like big corners with embankments and
Yeah.
like more of like Zandvoort. Or
Yeah, you like
a
Zandvoort,
Nordschleife,
like yeah.
a proper European or just more like traditional racetrack.
Yeah, like Silverstone, Spa, like the historic tracks with big corners, high speed corners with big, safe runoff areas, and especially with these street corners, street circuits, it's very dangerous. The amount of damage. I mean, like we saw in Jeddah a couple weeks ago, obviously, Mick Schumacher had a big shunt where he was sent to the hospital, obviously just for precautionary measures, and he had a big crash there around the Jeddah Corniche circuit. And it's a very quick circuit. Again, this isn't as quick, but regardless, still very quick as now. Leclerc goes out for his first flying lap of the session. So again, they'll probably do 1 or 2 laps, and then for this first early on, and then later on near the end of qualifying, they'll all go out again, and it could be a bit of a car pile-up, good car pile-up there, a car park, as they would say, near the end of Q3 here. We'll have to see where it goes and who gets on pole position here for. So Leclerc and Sainz both making their way out. So, of course, yeah, purple sector for Leclerc. Obviously, he's the first one on the track, first one through the sector. So they always say purple. Yeah, but now Sainz with a 29.489, so a little bit quicker than his teammate, Leclerc. So a bit of a better sector there from the. So I think realistically, Sainz is one of those really underrated drivers because obviously, like he did okay in Renault, and then went to McLaren, did okay. Like the car wasn't the best, but now he's in a competitive car in a Ferrari. He's had some good finishes. He's P5, P4, P5 or P5, P4, I think P5 in the championship right now, just behind George Russell, I think it is. He's just ahead of him. So yeah, Sainz purple in the first sector, Leclerc green, purple in the second sector. Sainz goes green in the second sector. Verstappen green in the first sector. So we'll have to see how these three fare and where they cross, exactly where the top is. But I definitely think that Ferrari has the pace this weekend. Would you agree, or they're showing to be seeing the pace there so far? Lee says Leclerc goes a 129 flat, 129.0.
On the brink of getting into those 128.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, very close to. Might get. I don't know if someone can put together a great. I can definitely see them putting into the 128s. I think we have seen before as well. Yeah, then getting into the 128. So I wouldn't be surprised again as well. It's their early run, so again they're just getting one quick run in there. Not the best exit there for Verstappen, not getting on the power the quickest. Purple in the second sector. Where he's going to finish here? First fastest with 128.991, which is again goes quicker ahead of the Ferraris here. Perez, where is he going to finish? Fourth fastest, half a second off of Verstappen's time. So not as quick there, but still, regardless, a good lap from Perez. So Hamilton goes six fastest. So Tsunoda goes 8th fastest. Where's Gasly going to finish here when he crosses the line?
130.
Yeah, 130. Maybe 130. Oh, he's not going to improve at 131. So not a great 139.87. So not a great lap there from Gasly, but we'll have to see. So right as it stands, Verstappen 128.991 with the fastest lap so far here in Q3. See if anybody can improve on that or not. We'll have to wait and see. So
Newey?
Yeah, Chief. He wasn't at Mercedes ever, was he? No, he was never a Mercedes. I think there was another crew member that they grabbed from Mercedes that Red Bull then took. But Adrian Newey obviously developed multiple championship winning cars in the 90s and the 2000s, and then obviously the Red Bull car, 2010. Sebastian Vettel's the 4 straight cars to win 4 straight titles. So he's obviously a massive influence on the development of the car and the great success that Red Bull has had in the 2010 to 2014 era. Around that time period.
Yeah, so it's going to be impressive to see what they can do this year, try to back up their title again.
Yeah, exactly. If they can defend, if Max Verstappen can defend their title. Now, of course, Mercedes is trying to defend their constructors title, but obviously now with Ferrari leading the charge with 124 points versus Red Bull with 113, and the Mercedes at 77 points. So a big gap between second and third, but a close battle between first and second. 11 points only the difference, as now cars are making their way into the track. Hamilton into the pit lane now, as well as Perez. So
final 5 minutes qualifying.
yeah, here we go. So in the next couple minutes, probably I'd say around 2 or 3 minutes left to go in. Probably go out because they'll want to get a time lap in, because again, as it stands, they can go up to, as long as they cross the finish line before the checkered flag ends, they may still do a qualifying lap. So even if there's 1 second left and they cross the line, that 1 second, they still technically have time to complete a qualifying lap. So as you can see, that's open there. Is that the fuel there? What is they open? What is that on the side? Like, that's not the fuel. No, that might be something else. Must be the hydraulic. Maybe they're putting in or adjusting. So you can see, looking at the data in between, we'll have to see where you can improve on. So do you like the design of the new cars, these new 2022 cars? What are your thoughts on that? I haven't really got what do you think?
I mean, I love the idea of the ground effect. I think that's really important. You know, one of my favorite cars ever was the one that Nigel Mansell raced, the FW14B.
Yeah.
And that was a car that focused on ground effects and had active suspension in order to
Right.
really use the most of those ground effects design. So, I mean, I would love to see F1 kind of take on a more traditional approach with their, or maybe not traditional, but, you know, really look at some of the suspension and some of the stuff that they've banned in the past. I mean, I wouldn't think that active suspension dampening is completely out of the reach of what they're possible of. And I think that they should totally drop down on the car size without jeopardizing safety or anything. But I mean, I don't think we need cars this big, especially when the circuits just seem to be becoming more related to street circuits. So.
No, exactly. Yeah. And especially a lot of the circuits, like when you look at Monaco now, like, you know, a couple of years ago, we'll just say, like, let's say 15 years ago, 2005, 2006, you look at Fernando Alonso's title-winning car. Around those, like that generation of cars, that was a very small car. That fit in Monaco too wide, and you could definitely, the overtaking opportunities were better. It made for better racing in certain tight street circuits. But obviously, with the addition of more street circuits, Miami being another one, Jeddah, and now with Vegas as well, potentially for the future, it just doesn't understand why, again, like what you said as well, why would they make the cars bigger when they're going to tighter circuits and smaller areas where they can't have these big, massive 2 meter plus cars and
when they
like half a meter wide or like 500 centimeters wide. Like,
when they make the cars a little more narrow and a little shorter, I think they totally allow for better driver like awareness of where their car's at in each corner, and where they know where the 4 points of their car is at. They can race closer, they can pass tighter, they can be a little more aggressive. They're not worried about clipping the wing or.
No, exactly. And especially with these based on these new regulations and these bigger 18-inch wheels, visibility early on was a bit of an issue for a lot of drivers because they couldn't really necessarily, I wouldn't say see, but they had tough visibility issues kind of seen over them. Again, F1 drivers aren't really tall. Like George Russell's the tallest, or George Russell or Alex Albon, like they're like 6'1" or 6 foot, like
that's tall,
the tallest. It's tall, but like
the problem is that their seating position.
The seating position,
they
like
have these little visors, in their helmets, which have got to be like 2.25 inches in height, and then
they've got a big halo, which is like the center, which is a big halo, which obstructs. Again, they're looking out their two eyes, but again, your eyes will point forward and centerward. So
here we go.
Oh, here we go now. Obviously, Leclerc. Everyone's out for the out lap. So here we go now. End of Q3. Everyone is now making their way, and we'll just have to see who will get pole position here.
All right, bets.
Final bets. I would say, I'm gonna say Leclerc's got it here. I mean, Verstappen's showing the pace, and I think that he has a solid chance. But I have a feeling that Leclerc is just gonna. What do you say? What's your final bet? Verstappen or Leclerc or Sainz? Maybe.
Yeah, I'm gonna stick with Leclerc.
Leclerc as well, yeah. So again,
right now.
Yeah. So I think everyone now is out for their. I think Leclerc is now going out for just starting his first time up. Here we go on board here with Charles Leclerc around the Miami last and final lap here of Q3. Again, interesting enough, actually, because you kind of want to be the last one to finish because you kind of like the last turn. You can see where everyone else has kind of gone off or finished, or like just know where you are. But I guess you kind of just focus on getting your lap done, and it doesn't really matter regardless at the end of the day. But so as you can see now, obviously Leclerc going to go through the first sector, purple in the first sector, so a bit faster than Verstappen's time as it stands.
Yeah.
So looking great here so far, Verstappen. But Sainz 2/10 clear of Verstappen's time, so maybe Sainz as well potentially could steal the show here and get pole position here in Miami. Who knows? Obviously, he's had a little bit of his fair share of struggles in the season, but we'll have to see. Purple in the first sector for Sainz, green for Leclerc. Lorner down the back straight now. You can see purple in the second sector, 2/10 clear, 2.5 tenths clear of Verstappen's time, but we'll see where Sainz now. Okay, so green in the second sector, but again, quicker than Verstappen's time as it stands right now. And now Verstappen is going very slow, so unless he's... Yeah, Leclerc goes fastest right now, yellow in the... So I don't think Verstappen's going to be able to get improved on his time. Is going to be able to improve here on his time. He was going slow on his lap, and it seems to be an issue possibly for Verstappen. Oh, potentially this is not good for Red Bull. I told the reliability, it's going to be a potential issue here. So, yeah, it's not looking good here, and already Perez goes fourth fastest. He crosses the line, so Verstappen and Gasly goes seventh fastest here. So, but Charles Leclerc on pole position. I just had a feeling that he was going to put in a cracking of a lap there, and he did. And Verstappen's going very slow here, so this is not great to see. Now, again, he still is finished to go third quickest here. He still has that lap time. He just has to cross the finish line. But the Pirelli pole position goes to Charles Leclerc with a 1:28.796, so a great showing there, and a 1:24 Ferrari for Sunday's race. We'll have to see how this affects.
We don't know how successful Leclerc is from pole position. So I mean,
yeah, no, I mean
Sunday goes Ferrari's way. And
well, I mean he has won every race so far from pole position. Not almost every race that he's finished, he's won from pole position. All 4 of his race wins have come from pole position. And what happened with Verstappen here? Oh, I see. He just abandoned the lap there.
Yeah, he said he messed it up.
Yeah, so I don't think any issues there for Red Bull. He just effed up that. He just messed up that last lap there. So you can see, obviously, so Charles Leclerc will be on pole position. Behind is Carlos Sainz, Verstappen, Perez, Bottas, Hamilton, Gasly, Norris, Tsunoda, and Stroll are your top 10 for the Miami Grand Prix. And thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for watching the whole time. Everyone. And we will see you tomorrow, 12:30 Eastern time, for our pre-race show for the Miami Grand Prix, and lots to talk about qualifying session. In terms of race predictions, race predictions, strategy predictions, and all to talk about as well as Verstappen. If Red Bull can finish the race, because that is going to definitely be a question of, as it stands right now, if they'll be able to complete all 60 or 57 laps around the Miami circuit. But a great showing from Charles Leclerc to grab a pole position, and Ferrari will definitely be happy with that. Obviously, last weekend, a tough weekend for him, finishing P6, and then for Sainz, finishing outside the points. But that will do it. Thank you guys for watching, and enjoy your Saturday.